Well, good morning. We are back and we're in our study, the study of First John, chapter 1, verses 1 through 4. We're still in there, and this is part 3 of this study today. There's probably going to be a part 4, and then we'll conclude and move into verse 2. So let me get into it this morning. Let me say welcome. Thanks for joining with me this morning. This has been fun. It's been exciting to see what God is doing in each of us. And feel free to kind of leave a post or whatever of whether you like this or not, or whether it's doing something for you or not. Love to hear from you. But let's get into it. 1 John chapter 1, verse 1. It reads, "That which was from the beginning, which we have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, which we looked upon and have touched with our hands, concerning the word of life." The study today is basically we got to look back and say yesterday we looked at John laying down the foundation for combating the Gnostic view, and he starts with the beginning. Very common. John was known for doing this, and that beginning was Jesus. And today we will read how he starts to build from that. As we read, John not only takes that which was from the beginning, that statement, he brings kind of all of us into the picture now. He does this by using 3 of the 5 senses. He does it by hearing, seeing, and touching. Now, there might be some debate on the word "we." Is John talking about the disciples, or is he referring to all who the epistles was written to? This epistle was written to. Now, I personally, this is just my personal belief, I believe it is not important to debate really the debate of who heard, seen, and touched, necessarily as the fact of John brings the importance to the fact that we is inclusive. It's we. We being all who have heard about, seen close up or far away, and has touched or been touched, emotionally or physically, by this one named Jesus. See, John is revealing or reminding those who are listening what he and others have heard, seen, and felt from Jesus. Yeah, John was kind of privy to the interpersonal relationship with Jesus, but church, as for the overall message Jesus lived and shared, all were exposed to it and all are exposed to it today. See, John continues to build his case by applying layer after layer. And what do I mean by that? John starts off with stating this. He says, "Which we have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, and which we have looked upon and have touched with our hands." Now, if you look at this closely, you can see a natural progression from hearing to seeing to touching. What do I mean by that? I know that as human beings, we are not the most trusting of creatures. If someone tells me something, I hear it first, but I'm going to probably need to see it after that. And then finally, even after I see it, and I'm probably going to need to kind of touch it, have it in my hands, or be able to walk over and touch it. If someone tells us something, we hear it first, then we need to see it, and then the final straw is usually when we have that item in our hands. John reminds the reader that not only did they hear about Jesus, not only did they see the life and the miracles of Jesus, but they touched and was touched by this one named Jesus. Now, kind of a great place to stop right now, because there's a lot to grab a hold of, and I really think that we need to digest that. But I think there's some things we can walk away from, or walk away with. This morning. I think 2 things really. Number one is this: once we hear about this one named Jesus, we, to be honest with you, are forever accountable to that fact. What I mean is, we will not be able to stand before Jesus on Judgment Day and say, "I never heard of you. I won't be able to say that. And if you're listening to this today, you're never ever going to be able to say that either, because you've heard of Jesus. You've heard of him today. I think the second thing is that many of us are at different points in this walk with Jesus. See, you might be at the point right now of hearing about him. You just heard about him. You also might be at the point now of having progressed to the point of seeing Jesus, seeing him working through others, through a pastor, through a friend, through a situation. But you see Jesus working through others. But then finally, some of us, we have felt the touch of Jesus in our hearts. You felt the warm embrace of Jesus. It was so close and so intimate that you could almost sense the breath of Christ on your neck as you hugged one another. Whatever the case may be, keep on keeping on. Don't stop there. Don't stop at hearing about him or stop at seeing him once or twice. Don't ever stop after he's touched you. He has so much more, church, to offer in love for you and I. See, church, there's a banquet table of blessings that he has for us. Step up to the table and taste and see how good Jesus is. God bless. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.